I wanted to give you guys a quick explanation of how you're going to complete part 4 in your Checkpoint 1 after you have completed all of your parts 1 through 3 below. So in part 1, we found the title of our text that we were reading. In part 1, we analyzed the claim in the article that we read. And then together in class yesterday, we started with reason 1. In our document, I combined all of our responses from my last 3 classes of the day and put the different responses from the day into the document. So we did part 1 together, or reason 1 together, and then you guys did reason 2 on your own, and then you completed part 3 on your own, analyzing the counterclaim and the rebuttal that the author made. So each of these charts, part 1, part 2, and part 3, is kind of like your graphic organizer to help you think about the issues in the text. Was it effective? What was the reason to support the claim, first of all? And then was that reason relevant and effective? What evidence did they use to support that reason? And then on the other side, judging that evidence. And all of these things are helping you score well on that cognitive skill of evaluating arguments. So in part 4, you're putting all of your evaluation together in a paragraph. Rather than just answering questions in a chart, can you write a cohesive paragraph altogether? So to start your paragraph, the first thing that you want to do is introduce what text you are talking about. So to start my paragraph, I might say, in the article titled, and then I could scroll down and I could copy and paste my title. In the article titled, Every Little Girl Wants to Be a Princess, right? The author, because remember yesterday we said we don't have an author, we don't have the rhetor, so we don't know who it is, so we can just call them the author. The author stated the claim that, and then again I could go down and I could copy and paste the claim. And I could put that in quotation marks since it's straight from the text. Okay, so then in my chart, I'm just going back down to my chart. What's next? Next, it asked, are there any qualifiers? If so, what? So we said that in the text there is one qualifier. She wants to eliminate beauty pageants for everybody, or at least in their current form. So are there any qualifiers? If so, what? So up in my paragraph, I can talk about this idea. So I'm going to copy this up here just so that I can see it. But then in my sentence, I might need to reword it so that there is more, like it flows better in my paragraph. So I could say the author uses a qualifier by saying, and then I could keep going on. Okay? So after I finish with my first part, with my part 1, I have all of my information from part 1 here in my paragraph. Now I can go on to part 2. So in part 2, I already have the reason that she stated, right? We have our subclaim number 1. So then in my paragraph, I could say, the first reason the author uses or gives or something to support, and then I could talk about the first reason. Copy and paste that in. So I could copy and paste, here's her reason. So if you already answered your question in a complete sentence, like we did here, this is relevant because, then I could literally just copy this, my answer, and put it up into my paragraph. If you don't have a complete sentence, then all you would need to do is use the question as a sentence stem. This reason is relevant because. This reason is effective because. The evidence she used to support this reason is, and you can paste in your evidence. Okay, so you're just using the questions and your responses as your sentence stems to write your paragraph. So if you already did that, I could copy and paste this into my paragraph. I could copy and paste this into my paragraph. And then I would need to introduce this idea because all I did here was just put my paste my evidence. So I could say the evidence she used was, and paste it in. Okay, so you're just using each piece of your chart. You do the same thing for reason 2, and then the same thing for counterclaim. And all of that information is what is basically building your paragraph up here. Okay? Once you're done with your paragraph, then that's what you would submit your checkpoint 1, and then you would be done with checkpoint 1. Let me know if you guys have any questions.